Hey folks, this is the Evil DM here on YouTube, here on Rumble, here on Twitch, all three places at once. I just want to say good morning. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful Friday. This weekend is upon us, and hopefully everybody has a game to play, or a game coming up to play this weekend. I have no game this weekend myself, but I am planning a new game. Right now my group is currently playing Black Star, which is an OSR 2D6 kind of GM list. Well, the GM has a part in it, but doesn't do a lot of rolling, which is kind of not my cup of tea. But some people may like that. Check it out. You can find it on Drive-Thru RPG Black Star. It's kind of a Star Wars-y game with the serial numbers filed off. Roll 2d6, and you add it together to beat a number. You can get advantage and disadvantage based on the situation when you're rolling the dice. So you may have to roll an extra d6 or minus a d6. Really depends on the situation. But wanted to talk a little bit about my Palladium games, because Palladium is mostly what I cover and what I like to play. Our group just went into hiatus for Palladium Fantasy, and we want to continue with Palladium Fantasy again, starting in the new year. But I was thinking before jumping into Palladium Fantasy, for jumping into Systems Failure, which is a post-apocalyptic bug invasion type game, which is really interesting, and I think it might be a good transition to get back into the back into the swing of things in the new year. It's the problem most people have with Palladium games is they think it's a complicated system, and it's really not. It's a very cinematic system. It likes to cover all bases. Palladium system is, if you can imagine it, it can happen. So that's why a lot of people were turned off by their system. You have to roll a lot. Sometimes you do have to roll a lot. Sometimes you don't have to roll a lot. It really depends on what you're doing. And people think there's just so many modifiers that the system's broken. It's not really. If you write it down correctly on your sheet one time, you won't have to fix it again until you level up, more than likely. And if you have a good GM, like myself, you will always sit with the players and make sure the modifiers are correct. So all they have to do is look at their sheet and look at that one total box, and that's all they need to roll when they, for example, slash a sword, or shoot a gun, or parry an attack, or dodge an attack. It's not really that complicated, and that's what most people are afraid of. It's no different than playing any of the other Dungeons and Dragons games. Yeah, sure, D&D has static armor class. Palladium has a static armor class, but it also gives you the ability to dive out of the way, which I think is cool, because why just stand there and take the hit? I mean, armor breaks. That's the one thing that D&D does not have, which I think is also interesting, is item wear. Which, when your armor breaks, it doesn't provide any cover anymore. D&D doesn't really have that. They just assume that you're in your downtime repairing the armor, or if a monster attacks it and your armor gets damaged, you go find someone right away. But I like the fact that with Palladium that the armor does break down, does need to be repaired, and does need to actually be repaired. So I don't know where I was going there. But Systems Failure is a bug invasion game, so think the TV show Falling Skies, or like Starship Troopers, but without all the technology. More like Falling Skies, humanity has gone into hiding because of these aliens, or in the case, these aliens invaded during the Y2K dilemma that happened in 1999 for us. And bugs travel through electronic use, so they can go through anything electric. The bugs can travel, which makes it really interesting that you have to not use electronic technology when trying to get around. So basically, humans are pushed back into a time frame when they didn't use electronics, or things that had computer chips, or they don't generate energy. Remember, the bugs at this point in the game are in control, so humans are in hiding. So just building a farm to sustain people is going to be a hard task itself, because now the bugs have control of everything. They have control of the satellites. They have control of everything that's electric, so they can just zoom around and go capture people. So they have the satellites so they can see these farms on the ground that use electricity. So like everybody's always hiding those pot farms and they in the in TV and in movies and stuff like that. The bugs can see that too, so they have to try to figure a way how to hide that. So, I mean, missions can be as simple as going out for your group and going to find food, going to find water, going to find some type of electrical sustainable item to help power your base to hide from these bugs. So, I mean, and it's not just like normal people. I mean, there are some people that have mega weapons and tanks and stuff like that. And there are some type of robotic implant things you have to be careful with. But it's a really fun game. I think it's a good transition into just a short 10-episode thing. Transition before going back to Palladium Fantasy. Give the ability to squash some bugs, because the only good bug is a dead bug, of course. And it might be fun. 10 episodes. But anyway, if you've played Systems Failure or know anything about Systems Failure, go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me what you think. With that said, I'm going to head out. So keep it original, keep it old school, and God bless everybody.